Lots of focus this week on Liverpool off the field, but what have they done on the field in UCL? It all started well on Matchday 1 with a 3-2 win against Atletico Madrid. Mohamed Salah actually scored in that game. Matchday 2 saw Liverpool travel to Galatasaray and suffer only their second loss of the season. But while Liverpool struggled in league play, they succeeded in Champions League, defeating Eintracht Frankfurt easily and then battling to a 1-0 win over Real Madrid, jumping up to 9th place in the process. But Matchday 5, a 4-1 loss at home against PSV. That means Liverpool sits in 13th place in the league phase with 9 points. Liverpool is at the San Siro today to take on Inter Milan, who sit in 4th place with 12 points. Kickoff today is at 3 p.m. Eastern between these two teams. Coverage starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern to get you caught up with everything that will be going on in that matchup. Now, Liverpool's head coach Arne Slot spoke to the media yesterday and confirmed that Salah didn't travel with the team. So let's take a listen to what him and goalkeeper Alisson had to say yesterday.
Mo said that he felt he was thrown under the bus. Do you understand that frustration? Do you understand why he would say such things?
Then I should know what he exactly means with it. And that is difficult for me to know what he exactly means with it and why he says this and who he's referring to. And
so you've not had that conversation?
No, not what he meant with those words. No, we just. So I think usually I'm calm and polite, but that doesn't mean I'm weak. So if a player has these commands about so many things, then it's about us as a club to react, and we reacted in a way you can see now that he's not here.
Yeah, him not being available, I think, is just a consequence of what he did, and he's smart enough to know that.
Do you think he will play for the club again?
I don't think anything. What I hope, yes, that he plays again for the club. But that's a personal situation. That's a situation between Mo and the club.
Well, this morning, Mo Salah, back in England while the team is in Italy, posted a picture of him in the gym at the Liverpool training facility. No words on it. He posted this on Instagram and X. So a lot can be taken from this. Everybody may have their own opinions on what this could mean. But looking at the press conference, Geoff, that Slot and Alisson did, they handled that, I feel, the best that they could have.
Couldn't agree more with you, Claudia. I thought they were absolutely brilliant, the way they dealt with it. It would have been so easy, and I've seen it so many times as a journalist. You go in, you ask a question about it, and the coach says, I'm here to talk about the game against Inter tomorrow, and I'm focused on the players I have with me. Next journalist will ask the same question and say, I just said to you, I'm not talking about it. He could have shut the whole thing down. But he addressed it. I thought he addressed it well. He gave honest answers. So there was even a little bit of humour in there. He had a chuckle a couple of times as well. And I liked the line as well. Yes, normally I am calm, but it doesn't mean I'm weak. So clearly the club and he are aligned as to the situation and what to do. I just thought he radiated a sense of somebody in control, Charlie. You know, he knows what's going on here. We can deal with this. And I also thought it was smart not to discipline Salah. Just leave him out. Yeah. Just say, look, best if you don't come here right now.
This is my thing, though. in hearing both sides and being objective, Mohamed Salah is not the reason why Liverpool have been dreadful this year compared to last year.
He's not the sole reason.
He is not the reason. The reason. Defensively, it's been shambolic for Liverpool. Not only that, I look at Arne Slot. He's got a lot of new pieces in the team, expensive pieces within the team. He hasn't yet figured out the right mix of players. And you lose Trent Alexander-Arnold. You brought in Szoboszlai to kind of move in as that right back because you weren't really sure. I think the left back spot, again, needs to be better, needs to be improved. And you brought in someone, you'd say, okay, it's going to work out. It hasn't worked out. You look at Florian Wirtz, the way he's been used, he hasn't settled in right. And then obviously Alexander Isak along with Ekitike now. Ekitike looks good. There's no issues with Ekitike. But again, you signed Ekitike as your 9, thinking you weren't going to get Isak. You brought in Isak, and as much money as you spent as Isak, he hasn't hit the ground running. And
Charlie, I don't think anybody would dispute any of what you're saying.
Right.
The question here is, has Mo Salah gone about this in the right way, venting his frustration in the way that he did, and saying the things, all of which were carefully planted, carefully choreographed? He knows the effect that they will have. This is rinse and repeat. He did this at Southampton. He's done this before.
We saw it last year with the contract situation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, right, I get he's only had 2 goals and 1 assist to finish last season with the last 9 games played. That's it. 2 goals and assists to the last 9. But he ended up having 29 goals last season. He is still, without a doubt, one of the best attacking players in the Premier League.
100%.
And this is a saying that one of my good friends told me, and that it really resonates in this situation. Once a king, never a prince. Mohamed Salah is a king at Liverpool. Now, whether you like it or not, as a king, given what he's done and what he still can do, he gets some of those perks. But Charlie,
right? Maybe he's had them. Maybe he's been playing some games back in the last season and this season when his form didn't merit it, but what he's done previously means he is treated differently from other players, so he's given more of a chance, possibly. And it may have got to the point where Slot said, look, I'm sorry, Mo, you're just not doing it. You don't merit a place in this team. And that's, for me, the nub of this situation.
But that's fine. But it felt like Slot took it a little bit further. And managers, for whatever reason, by not playing him at all?
Yeah, if his form doesn't merit it, why should he play him?
But then whose form is?
Oh, no,
you could point out every player in that team.
Yeah, but other players have been. Kirkers has been dropped. McAllister hasn't started every single. So he has. Look, there's no question. There's problems there. My point is, nobody is undroppable. Nobody.
I'm with you. There comes a point where sometimes you have to make an example, and for Mohamed Salah, you'd say I should never be the example. You can go down the rest of the starters, the 10 other players, but at the same time, I think Mohamed Salah, he deserves sometimes a little bit of the. If you're looking at certain players, you go, you know what, we're going to give him the advantage because of what he's done.
Maybe he's had that, Aaron.
Yeah. Looking at this situation holistically, I understand why Mo Salah might feel that he's been thrown under the bus. I don't like the way he approached it. I don't see it that way from the outside. He has been poor for long stretches of the season. Many other of the top players in this Liverpool team have been dropped for poor performance. Arne Slot, from the beginning of this season, has had, I think, an impossible task. Every time we talk about Liverpool, I feel like we don't mention the elephant in the room. They had a death in the beginning of this season that has overshadowed every single thing on the pitch. You have a team full of players that loved Diogo Jota, who have to walk into that training pitch every single day, see reminders of him everywhere. How do you care about football when your best friend died? Mo Salah was super, super close to Diogo Jota. This season has been incredibly difficult for all of them, I think especially on Mo Salah.
Arne Slot. You could say the same thing for Portugal.
Yeah, agreed.
Won the Nations League.
Arne Slot is overseeing all this and has to deal with 4 top quality players coming into a unit that was so tight after this Diogo Jota loss. And now you've got to integrate 4 guys that are not with these guys.
Some managers would say that's a dream job, though.
I don't think that's a dream at all.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah, but a dream challenge, because you're talking about a team that won the Premier League, and all of a sudden you're saying, you know what? Okay, time to reinvest in the squad, and I'm gonna bring in Alexander Isak. I'm gonna bring in
Florian Wirtz.
Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz. What manager in the world would say this is the most difficult job in the world? If anything, you're excited. But
the situation, though, is so different. It's not just exciting new players. They're dealing with the loss of an incredibly key figure of in the team, and then bringing in a whole new unit who doesn't. They're not part of that.
Which I think Aaron Slot has handled. I think you make an excellent point. He's handled it with absolutely. I think he's been brilliant on the Jota situation, the terrible situation. I think one of the biggest problems they have right now is this whole thing is being played out in the media. Yeah. So Mo starts in the Celia. Mo mentions our friend and colleague Jamie Carragher, because he knows that Jamie Carragher will be critical of him. He almost preempts it. Arne Slot has his say yesterday and his response, and Alisson as well. And then Jamie Carragher delivers his thoughts on the subject as well. So this is so tinderbox right now. Also, I forgot to mention right at the top, I thought it was another smart thing that Slot said yesterday. He said, I always believe there is a way back for players.
Yeah. And he's spot on. I think Arne Slot has handled this difficult situation when you're talking about an icon for the club, who you're trying to push at the end of the day. He hasn't been good enough. Mohamed Salah, as good as he can be, hasn't been good enough. But I still think he has something to say in this season. I still think he can help Liverpool get back on track. Whether or not that happens before January 1st and he's off to the African Cup of Nations and he's sold and they say, you know what, let's part ways now? Or does he come back and say, I want to help Liverpool, and then maybe post-World Cup
we're going to be talking about this for the next month. I guarantee it, at least. But if you think about it, what does Mo Salah want? Mo Salah wants to be playing football, playing at his best, scoring goals, providing assists. What do Liverpool want? They want the player that they had last season, the player that absolutely earned his legacy. They both actually want the same thing. So is it possible to get back there? 100% it's possible.
It is.
Yeah. Now, another thing that Slot spoke about in the presser yesterday was speaking about playing with an extra midfielder. And he said, we looked vulnerable against Forest and PSV. I tried to play with an extra midfielder against West Ham when we won the game, then against Sunderland. So we're seeing him move some pieces around to see what fits best for Liverpool. So for you be Mr. Arne Slot here. What is your ideal lineup for Liverpool?
Yeah, it's a really tough one because when you bring a Florian Wirtz in, it changed their entire system, and I think it really defensively destabilized them. So going back to 3 in the midfield is kind of, I think, the way forward for Liverpool. So in my ideal 11 for now, right now, I put Alisson in goal. Connor Bradley on the right. Gomez comes in for Konate because Konate has been absolutely awful.
You've got to change one. Chiesa hasn't travelled.
This was Chris asked me for a big picture. Big picture.
Oh, big picture.
Yeah, bigger picture. I think Konate's head has been just all over the place this year. So Joe Gomez, solid player, just does his job. Bring him in beside Van Dijk. Robertson, I really think that's a question. Kirkes has been really, really poor coming in. McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai as your midfield 3. I would put Gravenberch in front of this back 4 with McAllister and Szoboszlai as your 8s. Fede Chiesa brings the width. Cody Gakpo and Ekitike. Alexander Isak, I think, is an overall better player. But for how I have seen him in this Liverpool team, Ekitike has been the one. He's been the spark. He's provided the goals. He's fit. Overall, I think that he is right now a better player than Ekitike is a better player than Isak.
You can't spend 125 million and not play him.
He's not fit.
You said
he can't play 90 minutes.
Chiesa's fit?
Chiesa's not fit.
Chiesa's fit?
Even when Chiesa was not hurt, he at least could play 90 minutes. Isak has been in the team and still can't play a 60 minutes without falling off.
So play him. Play him to fitness.
Fair enough. All right.
You can't leave him out.
This is Alexander Isak. The kid, he was unplayable last year at Newcastle.
He doesn't look like himself
Arne
right now.
Slot is under big pressure.
He doesn't look like himself right now, and Ekitike has been the guy.
Agree with you.
And what has Chiesa done to warrant a place in the starting 11 for Liverpool?
I think the last couple matches, Chiesa has looked really good. And if you go by Chiesa of 2 years ago, a couple years ago, before he got to Liverpool, he's a fantastic player who has sat on the bench. And now, a couple flashes I see, I think he could be that guy.
Charlie's in disbelief. Should we hold a
I'm
press
with you.
conference after this break so you can break it down a little bit more?
I'm going to go and speak to reporters outside.
Yeah, I think they have some questions for you in the mix zone outside.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.